So we're now pretty au fait on creating calendars, amending those calendars and assigning them to resources, or even amending a resource's own calendar. Something a little out of the norm, but still achievable, is the ability to create a calendar and assign that to a task rather than a resource. Now, currently we would create a calendar, assign that to resource, assign the resource to the task, and then the resource's availability would determine when that task gets carried out. It is possible to effectively miss out the resource stage, create a calendar, assign it to a task, and it's the task calendar that then controls when that task can be carried out, as well as the resource calendar, so they would work together. Now, a good scenario for a usable task calendar is one that would control a task so it could only be carried out during working time. If we had a very noisy task on the My Bedroom project, which we don't really, but rebuilding a house might have a noisy task, then you might want that task only to be carried out during the time when most of the neighbourhood would be at work. So, for example, between 10 and 2. In order to control that happening in your project, you would need a calendar that only has working time between 10 and 2. So the first stage will be to create that calendar. So in Change Working Time, we'd like to create a new calendar. I'm going to make it as a copy of the standard calendar, and we'll call it Noisy Tasks. Sensible enough name. Okay. Now we want to amend the actual working week for the Noisy Tasks calendar. So I go into the details for the default work week, and we change Monday to Friday. Set new specific times from 10 to 14, which will turn into 2 p.m. And we delete the second row of times. So I select the row and delete. So our new calendar for Noisy Tasks is only active between 10 and 2 from Monday to Friday. That's okay. So that creates the calendar, but doesn't make use of the calendar. Okay, and saves those changes. If I then pick on what might be a noisy task, such as fill woodwork holes, then I can go into the task information, so that's double click, Shift F2, from the ribbon right click, etc. And on the Advanced tab, we can see Calendar. And in the drop down, I can choose my Noisy Tasks calendar. Now, when you assign a calendar to a task, you may wish to ignore any resource calendars that are also assigned to that task. Because what you might find is the task could never actually get done, because the resource is not available at any of the times that the noisy task can be carried out. However, if I say ignore the resource calendars, and the person who carries out the noisy tasks is actually on holiday, then that will be ignored and the task will appear to be able to be carried out. So I'm not going to tell it to ignore the resource calendars, but it is an option. So now this particular task, and only this task, fill woodwork holes, can only be available to happen during the Noisy Tasks calendar working time. Okay, that might have a knock-on effect, and it would appear to, because all of these start and finish dates here have all changed from having assigned that calendar. And you can see over in the indicators column, we actually get a little marker to tell you that there is a calendar assigned to this particular task. So you know about it because you've got a little symbol, just in case you're wondering why a task has been spread over 2 days when the resource is available there to deliver it in one. So that's the clever little option of creating a calendar and assigning it directly to a task to control that task's time that it can be carried out.